to look good, because sometimes it doesn't. And it freaks me out, dude. Freaks me out when like the text is all like skinny and then it gets wide and it's like center justified font. That's can be good and bad. I don't know.
And then it's like nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody ever says, "Hey, thanks for the pagination. Thanks for the proper detents. Thanks for making sure that the tabs are tabbing." Sad.
Oh, you know what? Humor, what my go-to meme, very, very specific genre of interest has been
The
Microsoft
little boy in the
Excel.
cowboy hat spinning around and going like this.
No, just
Oh.
Microsoft Excel jokes and memes and helpful hip tips. I'm seeing lots of good
Powerful tips you
videos.
need to know about Excel.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
which
guy
I
is
don't
awesome.
use anymore, but it makes me go, "Whoa!" If I ever do, that it adds. Did you know you can put equal sign in Excel and like add two numbers together?
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. I thought it was just for like entering in boxes.
Yes, it'll do any level of algebraic formulation that you can type into a line. It'll also, like you learned the other day, you can import data from a PDF. So
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
that was pretty good. That was pretty solid.
Yeah.
That was actually something I would have loved to be able to use when I was still working. I used to play in Excel 8 hours a day. I've had my fill.
I have sadly spent hours trying to get something to work the way that I need it to work. It's just
Yeah,
gross. And it's not. No, my phone is feeding back. Hold on one second. I got to pin it.
pin it.
Um, yeah. Anyway, you're trying to get something done, and then somebody shows you the shortcut that would have saved you hours. You just
Well,
want to.
next time you do this once in a lifetime task.
Right. I like in those demos too. They are always like stuff your boss could plausibly ask you to do. Like, could you take this list of 500 phone numbers and fix the hyphens? You know what I mean? That's something a boss would ask you to do.
Totally.
So you do it in 20 seconds using their tip, and then you spend the next 3 hours pretending like it's hard.
I always like stuff like that. I would see it like in my company's system, like not the same dashes or not the same formatting of phone numbers. And it would drive me crazy. I would go in and open up the company's info and edit it just so it looked pleasing to me and all the same. When everyone's putting stuff in differently, it just drives me bonkers.
Don't get me started on email signatures. Hey, everybody. Welcome to FFIB. I'm Jason. That's Tom. We are Finger Flicked in Box. Every week, I look forward to somebody posting, what does FFIB mean? It means Finger Flicked in Box. It's a joke about the condition of knives. So we have new in box. We have like new in box. That doesn't mean shit. And then we have light user. And then we have user. But somewhere between new in box and everything else is, buying a knife and then holding it for a week and sort of finger flicking it for a week.
Yeah.
Is it still new in box if you finger flick it for a week? The question was asked by Stephen Rockefeller about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And then Blake Vartanian came up with FFIB as an acronym to go along with NIB. And a joke was born. Tom and I named the show FFIB because we thought it was funny.
It was
And
hilarious.
for those of you with dirty mouths, you might also substitute flicked for a different F word. Before we get going, Tom,
professionals. So
we are broadcast professionals at this point with literally
Right.
hundreds of shows in our belt. We will not stoop to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Seth, I think I fixed your knife. There's still a little bit of a wrinkle, but I hope you like it. I patched it together last night. It took a little bit of time. These scales are made out of Richlite, Tom.
Oh, okay.
So Richlite is basically paper.
Okay.
It's a micarta made out of paper, and they're cool because they're kind of papery looking and smoky looking and it's dark blue. Ooh. But when Seth was putting the knife together, the lanyard tube shattered some of the layers.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of clamp it, glue it back together, and it looks mostly not screwed up anymore.
Good.
So
it looks FFIB'd and then some.
That's right.
That I love that you still have FFIB on. Like you have that picture ready to go every single time. You have a screenshot of the moment of conception.
I have like 245 favorite photos in my phone. It's not a lot. I have 40,000 photos and 240 are favorites. And I'd say over half are things for the club, things that you're just going to need often.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me laugh.
It
If
does.
something makes it into the favorites, then that means it's a big deal. So,
That is not how I treat my favorite folder. My favorite folder, I sled it out. I mean, there's a lot of favorites in there that aren't even there's drafts.
like that one's in the favorites.
Well, obviously that's my background on my phone.
The,
What are you
the
talking
Jake
about?
Wright painting. This one's a favorite. This one's for you.
Aww.
When people complain about not being able to get something that they wanted,
Oh yeah.
I give them, you can't always get what you want.
That looks like a human being in that picture though.
Yep, it does. This is a good one. Spider-Man. How dare you, Spider-Man?
Who's that?
And then one I don't get to use a lot, but I really like is whenever people say, "Does this knife look fake?" If it is fake, then I post this. So anyway, yeah, I have that saved in my favorites, and I'm able to get to it quickly. So, Tom, we have a lot to talk about today. We should probably lead off with the status of the club coins. You guys should know that as of today, the 2022 club coins are all sold out. There were about 100 left on Friday, and over the weekend, about 100 sold, including 10 to me. I bought 10 more just in case I ran out and I needed extras. So here they are. I know Mr. Lawford took about 10 to Eugene, Oregon. He probably gave them all away.
He was giving them out to someone like Rich Cox. He needed one. I thought that would Jeff made a good decision giving Rich Cox one.
I'm surprised he didn't have one.
I know. He does now.
That's good. That's right, Seth. The lanyard tube got you. Matt Friend's here. I heard Mr. Friend went to Eugene Knife Show.
He did. He definitely did. I met.
Hey, look at that picture. He got himself a sweet picture.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Camp House is here. What's up, Camp House?
Well, Jason, just as we predicted, as soon as people knew what the Tiger was, these were just going to disappear real quick. And they did in a week. There was not a small number left, but they sold out quick.
There's a rumor going around that you can't get something else later if you don't have a coin. That's not true. I saw one of the club members made a joke about it and made a post, and I took it down and asked him not to do that. And I feel bad now because I was a little harsh on him. I think he was just being silly. But the reality is the coins are just for people that want a coin. That's all. They don't earn you a privilege. And if you ever feel like you were misled and you're mad, then I'll buy your coin from you. But the reality is we did the coins for the third year because it's coin time. And then the knife is a separate thing. But when you get the knife and you don't have a coin because you waited 11 months and didn't buy one, I don't want to hear about it. That's the long and short of it.
I've only posted about it like 3 or 4 times this week.
That was right. Sorry, Facebook user. It was you. I hope you can forgive me. I got a hug waiting for you, okay? When I see you, buddy, it's here when you need it.
I believe I know who this fella is.
Were there ever any club patches made? A long time ago, we made some club patches, and they're fucking awesome. I love the club patches. I regret not saving more of them because I think they're bad to the bone. If you look at the top right corner of the picture that you're seeing right now, you're going to see what the club patch was. You might recognize it from Sons of Anarchy. It's an interpretation of the Sons of Anarchy patch. You'll notice that instead of holding an M16 in his side, he's holding a PM2, and instead of holding a mirror ball or a magic ball, he's holding a magic ball that has a dollar sign on it. We didn't make any. Yeah, I also did some. I did some ranked patches. If you're If you wanted to, you could get a prospect patch. And then also we had founder and we had golden. So you could get different ranks to go with your patch. I'm very proud of those. They turned out awesome, but had a misunderstanding with the guy that made them, and I didn't want to make any more. So there won't be any more. That's that. We may do another patch in the future, but they were fun. Brad Dawson just got a patch. It was pretty expensive. I imagine it was pretty expensive. I think we only made about 200 of them. It wasn't a ton.
Did you distribute them yourself?
Yeah.
Back in the day, stuffing envelopes, just like 20 a day or whatever.
I didn't have a label printer either, so
Ooh.
It was fun. Yeah, that was done by somebody else without my permission, but I'm really glad he did because I like it too. So if we look at my bag,
we could make something like that. We could resurrect that. That's pretty good.
It's kind of over. Like Ffib did it too. I feel like
true.
a lot of companies have done it.
Yeah.
We should do only knives and make the OK, and then the K could be purple. You know, like only feet.
I like that.
Yeah. Maybe Violet TV would be on one.
Well, you know what I did today? I'm freaking tired, Jason. I've been up since like 2:30 because I wake up early, but I usually go back to sleep and but I was too excited when I woke up.
Hey, Tom.
I fell asleep early.
Waking up at 2:30 is not waking up early. That's not sleeping enough.
Well, I went to bed pretty early.
5 is early.
I know. That's when I usually wake up. I usually wake up at 5. But I woke up and I'm like, oh, crap. I'm going to Eugene in the morning, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. So this morning I drove from Portland to Eugene, Oregon with my son Camden. We left at 6:30 in the morning, and he was like just a little tired guy. And I got to go to the Lane County Fairgrounds and go to the Oregon Knife Collectors Association show, which is the biggest club show west of the Mississippi, I believe, as they advertise it. And it's a very different knife show experience than you're probably used to going to like Blade Show West or Blade Show or a custom knife show. It's different than any of those things. I saw a lot of people down there that were familiar, and it was a really good time. I don't even know where to start. It was a great time. I'm exhausted because I was up early, and then I had to end my day early because my son got sick. So I'm back in Portland. That's why we're doing FFIB tonight, and I'm not in Eugene still partaking of the fun festivities this evening because that was kind of a bummer. I'm missing on that. But
what was the coolest thing you saw at the show other than Eric Lesser?
A tray of 115V PM2 seconds.
They had factory second PM2 15Vs, huh?
A few.
Yeah, that's quite a find.
Yeah, this is like
that's not a lightweight native.
So once again, I show up to the show. I went to my parents' house, dropped Camden off. I drove in. I thought I was going to be early. Last time I had made the same mistake. No, it opened at 8 a.m. I got there at like 8:50. And so I freaked out. I ran in. I'm like, what if they already sold all the seconds or whatever? But no, there was seconds and seconds and seconds. There was a lot of seconds. There was 15V PM2s. There was Maximum pair of 3s, but good ones, like legit good Maximum pair of 3 seconds. They weren't all warped. And autonomies and sirens and a Yo Jumbo, I believe was what it is. It was a very eclectic assortment of what he had out today. I think he had some different knives yesterday, but I didn't even realize I thought these were Maximum PM2s when I saw the big giant tray of them. And I just picked one up to like, oh, I'll see if these were centered. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to get as many as I can possibly carry. So I ended up getting
Big Bear Brown didn't give it away. No.
No, he didn't realize these were going to be there. I don't think.
Was he there?
Yeah, he was there. I was with him. Got to hang out with Mr. Sean Houston while we talked to Eric, and I bought a whole bunch of 15 VPM 2s and a couple Maximum pair of 3s. What else can you ask for a? That's all I need. That was worth the trip right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to talk to Eric again. It's funny now that we just interviewed him. I was like, well, now what do I talk to him about? I don't have any questions. I just wore you out with questions, Eric.
Hey, you remember when we asked you about the steel? It was awesome.
Yeah, remember last time I asked you about my knife? Is it done yet?
Remember when you told us about that story? That was cool.
Hey, is my knife done yet? I know it's been like a whole week.
That's pretty funny. Let's see. I heard Cutlery Shop had a table.
That was home base. That was where I stashed the backpack, and I sat with Jeff for quite a bit of the morning and a little bit of the afternoon. Just it's hard to explain what the show is like. It's not like a flea market. It's not like a big show. It's a place to go if you wanted to buy a antler for a handle. They have a lot of deer antler handle stuff like that. There's a lot of fixed blades, a lot of like old timey kind of nice stuff, like slip joints, like case knife kind of stuff. It's a very different show. So I went there, and nothing against that stuff, but nothing caught my attention enough to pull me over to a table other than seeing Eric Lesser and some of my friends and Jeff and Triple B and Rich Cox. Like that was what, obviously that was the best part, was just hanging out with the people like this. Yeah. Getting seconds was a bonus that made it financially worthwhile going. But yeah, just seeing everyone there, and like Rich came all the way from Indiana to come to this show in my little hometown, which is too funny. That's how important this show is to Spyderco, though.
When he told me he was going, I laughed to myself because he's a busy man and he's important in his job. And the place he works is busy as hell. If you don't know, he works for the Albanese Candy Factory.
He brought some too.
Yeah, I'm sure. And that guy is always there. He's always working, and he has an important role there. So for him to get away to go to Eugene made me smile. It's like he doesn't go to Blade West, he doesn't go to California Customs. He goes to the Eugene show.
Yeah.
So
he got to hang out he was spending his morning with Ed Shemp.
Yeah, he and Ed Shemp go way back. He had a Shemp shirt.
Yeah, he had that on, and he got a fixed blade from Ed that looked really cool. It was like really, really thin fixed blade.
Yeah, he makes those for his friends, and they're super slicey.
Yes.
Yeah, Albanese are definitely the go-to gummy bears. I used to like the Ultimates the best, but the last couple times I bought the bags, the Ultimates are delicious, but there's a mango in there that I don't know. No matter how good a mango gummy bear is, I'm never gonna say that mango is a flavor that I really hope to have. So no. I kind of wish I could get the Ultimates without the mango, or maybe they could do something else, like a passion fruit. I just said it. Dragon fruit would be better than
highfalutin gummy bear. They took Albanese gummy bears are already kind of falutin, and you want the extra falutin ones.
Listen, I want extra falutin from time to time.
Okay.
No question.
Okay.
Yeah, I've handled the Shemp shirts. They're really nice. He knows how to make a good swag. Matt Sandboard knows what I'm talking about. Mango's fine. Not my favorite flavor. It's like my 14th favorite fruit.
I just think of Haichu when I think of mango. Is that mango flavor?
I don't think they make a Haichu mango.
Okay.
Passion fruit. I've never had anything passion fruit other than the additive that they put in iced tea, which makes it terrible. Shout out Blake Vartanian. Yeah, I don't know what passion fruit tastes like. I do like dragon fruit. Now, Haichu does make a dragon fruit, and it's yummy. Mm. Well, Thomas, I had a nice week. I was busy. Most of you know by now, but they do make a mango Haichu. Brad Caldwell. Nice. All right, thanks, man. Most of you know by now, I now work at River's Edge Cutlery. That is my job. I have a full-time job at Rec. and I just did 4 days there and 1 day working from home. And the title was a bit spongy, but as of Monday, I am going to be the director of business development.
Ooh.
My role is to grow the business, right? Take it from where it's at and grow it to the next level. I'm marginally qualified for that. I know a lot of things about a lot of stuff, and I feel good about it. But this is my first time as a business development expert, so I'm really excited about taking the sum of my skills and putting it towards that. I thought you guys might want to hear some stories about what it's like at Rec, having been a customer last week, and now all of a sudden I find myself working there. I had a lot of observations that I thought were cool. Number one, from the moment I got there, everyone was amazing. I walked in expecting to find like people I would get along with and people I probably won't. And what I noticed for sure is that everyone there is high caliber. Everyone's high class. Everyone is dedicated to taking care of customers. And I can promise you that like if negative feedback hits Google, everyone knows about it at the same time. If an email comes in about a criticism, everyone knows about it. They kind of powwow around all the feedback from the customers, and it's really something to see because normally you think that corporations don't care about you, like all they want is your money, or they're greedy, or they're self-interested. The reality is that they really do care about every one of you and every sale. So I was really excited to see that. Another thing that I noticed right away that I thought you guys ought to know is just how difficult it is to run a knife store that's brick and mortar and .com at the same time. So you guys might notice like when drops occur, sometimes drops aren't smooth. You know, you hear it's at noon and you go to the website and you can see that it's there, but you can't quite get it, or it's there and then it's not and then it's back. I can tell you now why that happens. It's because the inventory in the store and the inventory online are shared through a single checkout system. And one thing at Rec that was interesting is when stuff is brought in, like let's say you open a box of knives. If you enter it in the computer, the second you hit enter, it shows up on the web and it shows up in the system as on hand, and all of a sudden you can buy it.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
a real problem when you're trying to time things, right?
Yeah.
So if we agree that at 7:00 on a Monday night we're going to drop a knife, and I enter the invoice so I can pay it at 5:15, it's going to show up. So more than that, you need photos, right? So that means the photo guy, Noah, needs to be there to take photos. He has to stage it all. He has to Photoshop it all so it looks good. That has to be uploaded. You know, all of that up down requires bandwidth in the building. So if other people are editing video and photos, then it can slow it down. There's just a million complications that you don't think about until you work somewhere like that. I can tell you that the team, like Zach and Doug and Mike and Brian, are planning drops weeks in advance. They're as far out as possible. They're planning it so that they can get the art ready. They can get the social media posts ready. It's not as simple as just doing it. You know, you have to really coordinate all that stuff. Somebody's to write all the script and the copy. Someone else has to check it. So I just appreciate now on a bigger level just how complicated it is to drop 1,200, 2,400 knives at once, you know, and have everything go flawless. Man, it's tough. Something else that I thought was interesting was every day at 4:00, Leah Kent packs up all of the FedEx orders, all the USPS orders, all the UPS orders, and she literally drives to 3 locations to drop them all off in time so that they all get shipped that day. Every day at 4, that's her job. So up until 4:00, she's filling orders as they come in. So a couple times a day, she goes into the queue and she prints out the orders. So when you guys leave notes in the queue, she's the one that sees them. So the note might say Millie Club. I want you to do that because you're going to get a sticker. There's a special Millie Club sticker. Hold on.
Really? I like that.
We talked about it a long time ago, but Tom and I haven't brought it up in a while. So I don't know if you guys know that or not. But the Millie Club sticker is only for people in the Millie Club, and it's kind of a take on our logo and the Rec logo.
Ooh.
If you guys are sticker hounds,
Gots
and
to
you
have
don't
that.
have this one, you're going to want it. So the only way to get this is to either run into me at the store or to put a Millie Club in the notes of the order. You can get a Rec sticker. So, okay, the order comes in. Leah prints it. She has that little piece of paper that you can find in your box with your order, right? She then goes and pulls the order and she stages it. If the knife is new in box and has never been opened, then she sets it on top of the order form. If the knife is in the display cabinet, she goes and gets it and she brings it and she puts the box down and the knife goes on top, down in the box.
Yeah.
Once all the orders are staged, at that point, she goes and fetches someone else in the building to come and confirm that the order is perfect. And then at that point, they make Leah teach them, like, this is what this knife is, and this is why I got it, and this is that. And then the knife that needs to go in the box, we inspect it and make sure it's perfect so that it's as new. And this is not a huge deal. It doesn't happen a lot, right? But every now and then you run in and it's the last knife in the building. So
Yeah.
that knife, we're going to look it over and make sure it's perfect. I did find one with a spot on the blade, and we handed it over to Eric in the custom shop to have him take a look at it. He was able to get it off with a little bit of solvent, but that's now you have multiple people touching your order to make sure it's perfect before it
Yeah.
goes out. Only then is the box built and the swag is added, and then the order's packed, and then the label's created.
So what happens if you guys have a big drop and I put it in my message in my notes? I need you to check the blade centering on an order.
Checking the blade centering in that moment when you're confirming the order is not hard. It's not hard. That's easy to do. If you were to say, pull 10 from the shelf and give me the best one, we're probably not going to want to do that, right? We're going to call you and go, what do you mean? What does best mean? Best color? I don't know. Most prodigious, jimping. I don't know what you mean by best. Shiniest blade. So things like centering, by the way, guys, it's pretty adjustable, especially on a factory made knife. So, and also I've noticed that centering on Spyderco's, it's pretty good right from the factory. I don't often notice that things are out of center.
No.
But that is something that's easy to look for right there at that final stage, especially with Spyderco's because they're not sealed. Now, other brands like Benchmades, I really don't want to unseal 10 Benchmades to find you the magic one because they're sealed from the factory.
Yeah.
So I suppose it depends on the brand.
Makes sense. Like today, I was with Jeff, and we wanted to open up a Lynch PM2 to see what it looked like, and I'm like, we have to open up Lynch packaging just to see what this thing looks like, and it's like cutting that little tiny foil. I'm like, how do I make this so no one can tell I opened
Unwrapping
it?
the paper and then unwrapping the box. And
We had to
cutting
wrap
the
the
little
paper
foil.
around the paper, around the box, around the sleeve, around the
It's
foil,
really cool.
around the thing. Yeah.
Yep. So, that's just something about like the care and attention that goes into your order. I think it would be very hard to have an order misship. It'd be very hard for us to send you the wrong knife. Generally, if they're all sealed up, we don't unseal them to check them. But if it's out of the box, we're definitely not shipping it unless it looks brand new.
So if you had like a DLC PM2 in camo and a DLC PM2 in black, how is that order checked? Is that just checked straight on the SKU against the box, or what is the process for that of Spyderco?
Yeah, the SKUs are going to reflect it with Spyderco, but then you slide it open and just make sure, do a visual. I had a customer come in who purchased a Crewwear off the shelf, and he really, really, really liked the one in the display case. And then he wanted to feel it in his pocket, so I moved the clip so he could feel it in his pocket. And then he asked one last time if he could, try one from the back too, to make sure that this one had the action he wanted. And I remind him, like, we can dial these in however you want them to play. So, if you want me to dial it before you go, I can do that. But if you want to see another one, we can do that too. So I went to the back and fetched another one, and he noticed that the sound of the detent ball sounded different. And the click as it opened sounded different, and he liked one over the other, so he took it. So there is something to be said about choosing it in person, right?
I've chosen the ones I'm keeping. Yeah, I felt every single one of these knives is a little bit different. Every knife is going to be different, and most of that stuff, it doesn't matter. If you take it apart, you put it back together, and it's not going to be the same. But it is nice when you get one, and it's just like you don't have to touch it. It's so rare that you don't have to touch it at all, but it's pretty satisfying.
Right. Wonder what else you guys might want to hear about rec. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You have a flashlight tunnel.
Stopped in rec today and picked up my first little native. I love it, man. Adam McCoy lives 5 minutes away. Dude, you're going to get broke. Buy your girl something nice. Get her some flowers. Unless you never buy her flowers, don't start buying her flowers. I recommended that once to a guy that wasn't real good with his wife. He came back a week later and he was yelling at me because he got in trouble. She was like, "What did you do?" Like, "I just bought you flowers." She didn't believe that he did it for no reason. So you know her better than me. All right, I'm gonna stop giving advice. What does the Rec Custom Shop do? Great question. So at our disposal, we have a spray booth big enough for an automotive. It's an automotive spray booth, so we can certainly spray a knife. We can Cerakote, we can anodize, we can distress, we can patina, we can modify and customize. We have the ability to do vinyl masking. So I didn't take a picture of it because it's not in the customer's hands yet. We have a rule that if we're working on something, we won't show any photos of it until the customer has it.
That's good.
Because if you're commissioning something one of a kind, you want to be the one to show the world, right? But I saw a knife that had a silhouette of the characters from the movie, and they were walking along like a meadow, and there was a sunset scene over the top of it, and you saw all the characters. And even if you didn't know the name of the movie, you would probably be able to figure out what movie it's from. It was that detailed.
Okay.
And Eric had whipped it out and he showed it to me. It was cool as hell. We also have really, really good blasting equipment, and we're able to blast 4 different levels of media to make to give you different textures on the titanium. So,
cool.
Eric actually invented something that we call blast mascus, and it looks like some sort of Timascus camouflage pattern with blast, and it's unbelievable. So that's going to start showing up on knives soon. If you want it, I would suggest you get it quick because it's going to be hot. But basically, the way it works is you can reach out to us. You can contact us. You can get a quote on what it'll cost. If you're interested, you mail the knife in, and then it'll be in the queue for the work. If you send us just the parts, it's cheaper. If you send us the full knife, we're happy to take the whole knife. And then we can disassemble, do the work, put it all back together, dial it in, and you'll have a perfect knife coming back to you. So it all depends on, how much work you want to do.
Just think. So before someone does that, let's say I have a non-super popular knife. Would you rather someone send it in as parts, or would you rather them send it in whole so you can have someone see how it comes apart?
I think it's case by case. If it's something like a CRK or a PM2, we kind of know what those are. But if it's something weird that we've never worked on,
I would just be like bummed out
intact.
if someone sent me a bag of parts and I'm like, what? What do I do with this bag of parts?
Right. Yeah. Another example I can think of off the top of my head would be Koenig knives, because Koenig knives have such tight tolerances. If you were to send a blade in and then we Cerakote it and send you the blade back, you might not be happy with the setup once you get it back. So I know for sure with the Koenig, we would want the whole thing so that we can make sure it all gets reassembled right.
Right back.
Sounds like Paula had a PM2 Cerakoted. That's great. I'm glad it went well. We've done a bunch of cool stuff. Like a customer came in. I worked on the showroom floor for about 3 hours just helping customers because it was fun. And everybody who came in was a regular. I asked everybody. I'd walk right up to them and go, "Hey, I'm Jason. I'm new." And they'd go, "Hey, Jason, I'm not." Or, I'm here all the time. So that was pretty fun. It looks like they have regular customers that come in once or twice a week. If you didn't know, Rec also does consignment. So I know right now in this day and age, we have a lot of scamming going on. There's a lot of dishonest buyers out there and sellers. So if you have a collection of knives that you would like to sell that you don't really want to sell yourself because you don't trust the system or whatever, we have the ability to consign them. So there's a giant consignment case at one end of the room that's pretty full of stuff. The way that would work is we would have the knife in our possession for 90 days. If we don't sell it, we'll send it back. If we do sell it, then we'll just cut you a check and send it to you. So pretty easy way to do it. And there are actually quite a few people that only come in for the consignment case. They'll come in once or twice a week, do a lap around it to see what's new. So there's a lot of eyeballs on that case. A lot of interesting pieces in there too. So actually, I talked to Tom about sending in one of his knives that he may or may not want to keep. See if we can consign it.
Oh, I'm almost consigning it. I'm consignizing it.
Consignmanizing. A good way to find a new market for something that maybe, you know, you put it up in 5 Facebook groups and the same 12 people don't want it. And then you put it in a brick and mortar for people that don't like Facebook and you'll sell it.
And don't ever have the opportunities to get some of the cool stuff that we get on. Like, we all see 15V stuff. Like, it's cool, but it's accessible. For some people, if they don't see it in a store, they'll never see it. So it's like that kind of stuff. I'm definitely going to send you my consignment knife, and it's a pretty piece. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to put it in there because it'll just look awesome in that case with all the other stuff. Could you order a knife from Rec as a custom? If you would like to purchase a product from this floor and have us customize it, we can totally do that. Absolutely. There are a couple brands that prohibit it and we cannot do. There are brands that want their product to remain the way it is from the factory. So the rule on that is like, if it's a private collection knife, then that's one thing. But if it's, you know, our inventory, they don't want us to do it. So we're going to respect the wishes of the manufacturers and not do that.
I can probably think of some of those. Make sense.
You're a smart person. Poncho says, what's their policy on mistakes? Not saying they make them, but things happen, of course. I mean, accountability is important, and everybody I work with there is accountable. You know, we all want to be accountable to our customers, and everyone's made mistakes, right? So the way we would handle a mistake is we would correct it. Bought 2 knives from a Nigerian prince this week. Good for you, man. I bet they're nice.
You got tracking?
Yeah, Adam McCoy. Adam says he checks once a week in the consignment case.
That's funny.
Yeah. I just told a story about that. Dan's uncle is a Nigerian prince, evidently. All eBay prices in that case. If we're looking up the value of a knife and we need to know what they're going for, the fastest and simplest way to look up the value of a knife is to go to eBay and look at completed transactions, and it gives you what knives have sold on eBay. We all know that can be sketchy, but there's no blue book of knife values. And the problem is if you want to spend 3 hours in Facebook groups to determine what things are selling for, you're going to get a wide range of answers, right? So I think eBay prices is probably like the standard that we're going to use to determine what something's worth. And what I've noticed in the knife community, guys, is like eBay is going to be the most expensive, the highest fees. And then Facebook is somewhere in here. And then Reddit seems to be a little bit cheaper than Facebook, although it has its own eccentricities. And then you have like blade forums for the people that are definitely old school, you know, and they're going to have a different price set. So Rec Custom Shop is cool. The main person that does the bulk of the work is Eric, E-R-I-K. Eric is a monster in that he's just passionate about what he does. He's excited about doing their mods. He really gets into it, and he really personally puts a lot of himself into his work and is emotionally invested in the product. So when that happens, you get a lot of good creativity and you get a lot of attention to detail.
Do you have to have an idea in your head of what you want done, or do you just is the creativity in-house?
I mean, I'd feel comfortable at this point. Like, I'm going to give him one of my knives and just say, do something awesome, because I trust him. But you could do something loose. You could do something specific. Todd Roberts is the coordinator, so when you're emailing back and forth, he's the one that's going to be, responding to you. We do have an entire sharpening department as well. And by the way, sharpening prices are cheap. Like a small fixed blade is $4.50. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
The room is awesome. There's a bunch of belts and wheels and things like that, so that we can put different levels of finish on the blade. They'll do anything. They'll do shears. They'll do clippers. They'll do. Somebody brought in a pair of bolt cutters. Somebody brought in lawnmower blades. So these guys will do anything. All the barbershops in town bring their stuff over there for sharpening. Completed auctions are better judged than completed transactions. Yes. Although they do both reflect the market, right? Auctions, the problem with auctions is they're over in 7 days, right? So only the people that saw it in the 7-day window had any input. Yeah, Eric is also former Coast Guard, I believe. Coast Guard. I hope it's Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Coast Guard. He had the flag on the wall. So let's see. The building is unbelievable.
Saw the video. Yeah.
I hope you guys saw the videos. One thing I kept pointing out to everybody was, you guys work here, so you don't see it. But last week I was a customer. Now here, and I'm seeing this through the eyes of a customer. And I've never seen a store look this good.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like you could probably go to all the knife stores in the country, and I don't know that any of them would look slicker than that one. So
yeah,
the experience of going is amazing. And if you're within driving distance, I would recommend it. You could drop your family at the Columbus Zoo, and they're going to have a world-class zoo experience. Then you can come up and see the knives and have a good old time. It's a good place to visit. Make a weekend out of it if you want to. But yeah, great place to come. Mike had all the display cases custom built for the building. They're all bespoke.
Oh well.
So pretty cool. Jason just placed an order with Rec for PM2 and Para 3, but I'm getting at the outlet store in Golden. Nice. What other questions you guys might have? We should probably address the club knife for a minute.
Yeah, let's do that.
Tom and I don't want to give out any more details about it because this has been years in the making. And sometimes you guys remember when you were kids and it was February and you would think about how far away Christmas was and you get angry. It's kind of like that.
You know how Spyderco stopped putting stuff in the catalog before it was too far in advance? Same idea. We don't know.
We're going to drive ourselves crazy if we talk about it every week until it happens, and people will get mad and then they won't want it anymore because they'll have a temper tantrum. So I think not talking about it's better, and we want to hold on to some of the fun, but you guys will all like it. Remember, it was ordered years ago. And the scariest part about that is the club is substantially bigger now than it was then, and trying to forecast how many to get was a scary question that changed a lot. Are there metal detectors at the zoo? Couldn't tell you. Oh, I get it, because of the knife. Jesus Christ. How dare you? He has 8 children.
Wonder why he gets banned all the time.
Why does he get banned all the time?
I don't know.
The Vero Synapse XL dropped Friday. By the way, Tom, I talked to Joseph Vero on Friday for about an hour. And every time I talk to him, it's just, I realize how much smarter he is than I am. It was enlightening. It was helpful. I had some professional questions for him. He helped me out, but yeah, what a gem of a guy. And that Synapse XL dropping again is killer because it's been out of circulation for a long time.
My favorite is Vero. So the Slim Pulse was the last one that was really cool, I thought. But Synapse XL is my favorite Vero, and he's doing a bunch of different stuff this time. He has like brass scales even, which look pretty cool. He's doing black blades, he's doing satin blades, he's doing red scales, micarta scales, marbled carbon fiber scales, and brass. It looks pretty dope.
If you like big knives, you're going to want a Synapse XL. It might be my favorite Vero. It's so fun to flick. It's so fun to
It's an
play
awesome
with.
knife.
Killer knife.
It's big, but it's not like a subvert.
It's not military big. It's not subvert big.
It's not subvert big. It's big. It's also kind of, it's like, you know, a normal knife would stop there, but it's got a little contour to it.
Thoughts on collector club numbers? They don't bother me at all. I have a Sliz Bowie with a 101 on it. The reason I have this knife is I had a friend that wanted to Cerakote his Sliz Bowie, and he didn't want the number under the Cerakote, so I just traded him. And he was like, "You sure?" I'm like, "I don't care." So it doesn't bother me. To me, it doesn't add to the value, but it doesn't bother me.
There's some, it's very, for me, like there's one of our friends who has a very specific number that it greatly adds to the value of. And there's ones that if it was me and I had no association with it, I would pass on that knife. So that's like a very old question that comes up a lot is, I don't know, it doesn't add value. It doesn't detract value. It just depends on who the person is buying it.
Don't mind me. I'm just reaching.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mean like that number?
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah.
Something like that one.
Yeah.
See, that one is a number I would like to have because obviously.
That one's cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, what color is a tiger?
Primarily.
It's orange, right? And which store sold the coin? The orange one. Yeah, it's going to be a cutlery shop. In all actuality, cutlery shop is involved because a dealer must be involved in order to sell a knife. Spyderco won't just sell us knives. So they go through a dealer, as it should be. So cutlery shop will be carrying it. Please do not call cutlery shop once a week and ask when they're ready.
Please
They don't know either.
No.
They know as much as we do, and they know that it'll be ready when they get the invoice. But none of us will get a heads up. Philippines in the house. Happy Sunday.
Oh, is tomorrow your Easter?
Tomorrow is Greek Orthodox Easter. And all the Orthodox Christians are celebrating Easter tomorrow. In fact, my wife and my daughter just jumped in the car to go to this Saturday night service. It's a beautiful service, and they asked if I wanted to go, and I said, I'm going to sit out because I wanted to be with you guys tonight. Tom and I had a lot to talk about, and also it's rather long. It's a couple hours.
Is it in Greek?
Part Greek, part English. It's probably 40% Greek. What did I just say? How dare you, sir? I think you're just pulling my leg. Oh, dude, we should have called it the Carol Baskin.
Oh, hey. That can be the nickname. We haven't.
Yeah.
Wasn't her husband found alive the other day?
He's not dead. No, he wasn't found alive. He was never dead.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't the other day. It was like at the time the show dropped, everybody knew.
I just talked about it like a couple months ago.
No, it's been a long time.
Okay.
Yep. I wonder if anybody told that guy with the eyebrow piercing.
Me? I used to have an eyebrow piercing.
I know. Still judge you for it, even though it's gone.
Freshman year of college, I was so cool.
Were you?
I thought so. All
Okay.
140 pounds of me.
Thinking you're cool is half the battle.
Did you see these? These are cool. I showed you these last week, but
I missed the drop.
yeah, they dropped yesterday at 1 Eastern, and they sold out in under 3 minutes. So
Yeah,
congrats.
I missed it. I feel bad.
I'm sure he will be doing more at some point, but the first
I hope
round
so.
is done.
Because I have certainly plenty of G10 scales laying around here that aren't painted with an awesome graffiti painting. Yeah.
The only thing is like, not that I don't think that this is durable. I don't want to have to find out if it's durable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just like throw this in my pocket and like carry it without making sure I know it's not gonna. I don't know. It's just so beautiful in so many colors. It'd be hard to touch up.
But being graffiti, right?
Yeah,
It's going to look
not
more
perfect.
urban, Tom, if it's got a little schmoo on it.
Ooh.
When do the null voodoo knives come in? If I remember correctly, the guesstimate at the time that they were ordered was 8 months. But I also know that the Liang Ma Field Duty 3.5s took 14 to 18 months. So it's kind of at the mercy of Riot. So I would bank on 8 to 10 months minimum. Speaking of field duties, Tom,
Yeah.
field duties are in stock at Rec.
Oh, they are.
Yes, they are. All 5 handle colors are in stock.
Oh, wow.
I've already had a couple messages from people saying they picked one up today or yesterday.
Oh, dope.
So they've got burlaps, they've got 3 fat carbons. So you'll find those on Cutlery Shop. I think on the splash page, there's actually a link that'll take you there.
Nice. Those are pretty fun. I was playing with mine today. I have
you
so many
sharpened it
Leon
yet?
Moss around. I've just been flicking them around lately.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Have you sharpened it yet?
I have not sharpened it yet.
Takes a good edge. Mine is dangerous. I had something else fun happen today, Tom.
What is that?
I was eating one of those little Cadbury eggs, one of the little ones, the crunchy on the outside with the chocolate in the middle.
And then like jizz on face.
I knocked one of my crowns out.
I don't want you show me that. I don't want to see it again because it makes my mouth hurt because it makes
the
me
bottom
think about,
side. That's where the germs catch, Tom.
That's fine. I just don't want to think about things falling out of my teeth
You want to see?
because you have a big gaping hole in it. That's a big. So that's a crown. I don't understand all the dental terms, but it's like a whole tooth, right? It's not just a cap that goes over a tooth.
No.
Okay.
It's not a shroud that goes over top of the tooth. They have to modify the tooth in order to make the crown fit.
Oh, okay.
So they take a tooth like this and they grind it down.
Okay.
So that all that's left is like
nothing.
Can't represent it. So there's like a stump that comes up in the middle.
Yeah.
And they grind it all the way down to the gum line. So imagine the sides come down, but the center stays.
Yeah.
And then they make the tooth to fit over top of it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So yeah, this one has been a pain in my butt for the last, I don't know, 6 years. It just keeps falling out. So every time it falls out, I go in and ask him to reseal it and put it back on. The last time I did that, he goes, "I'm not doing this anymore. We're going to build you a new one next time." Because it's just silly. And I went, all right. I don't know why the mini egg did it. Usually it's like eating. You ever had a Cliff Bar? Cliff Bars will pull them out. Now and Laters will pull them out. You know, stuff like that's tough.
Every time I go rock climbing, I eat a Cliff Bar. Obviously, they're performance fuel.
That's right.
That I love. I used to eat all sorts of that stuff when I was like in college and working out. Actually, I'm like, it's like a protein bar and it's got all the nutrients you need in it. And like, there's people exercising on the label. It's got to be healthy.
You're susceptible to marketing, I've noticed.
No, what? I understand it though. At least I understand that.
When I was younger and poorer, I did actually swallow a crown.
Ooh.
So I did. Wait for it to come out. That was fun.
Yeah. I swallowed
Sugar daddies. Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah. Facebook user, you're right. Sugar daddies are the stickiest candy ever.
No, that's yuck.
That's a good movie theater candy.
That's like when you like your mouth gets so stuck together. And like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No good.
I boiled it. It was safe. You've done worse, Christian Klein. I see you. There's children in that photo. They're dirty too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy. I did boil it and then soaked it in alcohol, and then they put it in an autoclave. Yep. So they put it back. After they did, I told them what happened. And they laughed and said, that's not the first time. Minties make people lose more teeth than any other lolly or candy in the world. Let's see what else, Tom. I'm still stoked about the Eric Lesser interview.
Me too. I talked to him today, and I was still all saying like at the beginning of the show. I'm like, I wanted to talk to him about like, wasn't that so cool? Wasn't that cool for me when you came on my show? Wasn't that cool?
Remember when I talked to you for an hour and you laughed at my dumb jokes? That was awesome.
Yeah. And you told he
Yeah.
definitely got scalded for some of the secrets he told.
Did he really? I felt like it was okay. I don't know.
He said it was fine, but he's like, I definitely had marketing come up to me after our show and ask me some questions about something.
What did you say, sir? That's funny.
Yeah, not much, Jason. I think I'm pretty spent, to be honest. I'm tired. So
you look tired. Yeah, you look tired.
So
I think Max got himself one of these, Tom.
Those are fun. I played with one of those in Eugene, and it really's got some punch. It really kicks that blade out. I love the button.
I carried this one day at the store, and customers were asking, "What do you got in your pocket?" And I pull it out and hand it to them. They go, "Oh my god!"
That's a good answer.
Yep.
Oh,
what is up, Rich Cox? We talked about you earlier.
Rich Cox sent me home with some goodies. Yep, Minties.
Yeah, the autonomy is just, man, I don't know. I like it anyway. And then when Eric got excited about it, I got excited that he was excited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it was funny. I heard him say at least once or twice, but he was like, I've just been really into coatings. I know I keep on saying that, but I'm really into coatings. It makes me like, what is coming that you keep on talking? You're that into coatings. There's only a couple so far. There could be a lot of things coming.
Based on what I know about coatings, there's a lot more ranges of metal coatings in different colors that are out there that they're not using, right?
Yeah.
So there's this DLC process that puts, that coating on there, and then you've got your PVD coating, which is really the same thing. A DLC is a PVD. They're basically a baked on, very hard, thin finish. So I think there's a lot of other things they can do. I don't know. I'd love to see stuff like a candy apple red blade. That'd be money.
It could get pretty wild.
Right. Think about the back of your iPhones, guys, and the edges of your iPhones. Those are things that are done on metal. So maybe we could see something cool like that. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I'm going to go on the right. I don't know what's coming.
My extent to my knowledge is Eric is interested in coatings. That's my knowledge.
Right.
Which is good. But I don't know what it means. All right. I'm tapped, Jason.
Got one more question here. How do they compare to ProTech? They're automatic, right? So they come out the side of the knife, but this is a very different type of mechanism. The spring action is actually part of the liner instead of being a coil spring. So it's very unusual.
That's
right. It's got this cool wheel on the side, which I don't remember what it does.
Wait, that the pivot or what? What do you mean it's the wheel?
I don't know what that wheel is.
Okay, that is the pivot though. It's just the head of the
It's
pivot's
the
really weird.
pivot, but I don't know what it is. And then
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
weird.
button on the side, so it's not the button. I don't
Huh.
know what the disc is. Maybe it's a minty.
That's why people keep on getting on their teeth.
Maybe it's a minty. You can't thumb
Minty.
flick it. Too small. But yeah, next week, first the dentist, and then I'm off to work. I'm excited for another week at Rec. If you're going to be anywhere near Rec on Saturday, I'm going to be there Saturday. So come say hi. I did get to flex really good, Tom. There was a guy that was there. He drove in an hour and a half. When he's in the area, he likes to see the store, and I was helping him with a PM2, trying to find the right one for him. And he was asking me like steel questions, and he wanted to know like why I knew so much about steel. And I was like, well, I got most of my information from Larry and Thomas, right? And then later on, he was asking some questions. I had some anecdotes. He's like, "Where'd you learn all this?" And I said, "From Eric Lesser." And then after he bought the knife, I invited him to the group, and he joined the Millie group. And then I sent him
Nice.
links for the Laren interview and the Eric interview, and he was like, "Oh, you know these guys."
I'm not gonna lie. Today, I had several people recognize me while I was standing in front of Eric. That was really fun. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty cool. Like having club members like come up to me and like, see, we're fucking everywhere.
He's right here.
From
He's
the
right
internet, people know us.
That's pretty funny. Well, Tom, why don't we wrap it up? I know you need to get a nap in.
Something.
I saw you
Hopefully,
go
I just
get
drank some
coffee.
coffee. Just drank coffee, so this will probably kick in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That's right, Brad. Hashtag influencer. So are you too. As well, I mean. So working at Rec is part of your nefarious plan to increase club membership. Man, everybody should be in this club. Do you like knives? Or maybe you just like food? Or maybe you just like brotherhood? Or maybe you just like fart jokes? It's a good place to do all that. So, yeah, I'm going to talk everybody into it.
Nice. Jeff Lawfer, he is the club spokes ambassador, I guess is the word. He every single person that walked up to the color shop table, hey, are you in the Millie Club? That was the not, hey, how's it going? You in the Millie Club. That's how you lead the conversation. You in the Millie Club? If not, just keep on moving or join. It's one or the other.
It's a good hang. I'm proud to be here.
Yeah.
With all y'all. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to go now. Tom needs to go to sleep. Alexa, play a lullaby.
Okay, here's ambient noise.
Oh,
ambient
it's my
noise.
favorite station, ambient noise. Good night.
Pretty nice. Good night, everybody. Happy Easter.